I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Looking for love and dating apps and DMs. Looking for love and nothing is sticking. Seeing red flags, getting catfished. What's up? Gotta do now that I found two gals and that'll help me. I just can't wait to get adjacent to you. Looking for love.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Single Ready to Mingle Adjacent Style.
Yummy. Yeah.
And there it is. I haven't heard that in forever.
I know.
So we're going to do something a little different.
It's too much like this. The last couple of episodes.
I know, you were making me blush for sure.
That's rich. That's rich.
So we're doing things a little differently today because we are just going to talk about some of the things that we've learned from all of our amazing singles, as well as our incredible supporters of the single living with all the therapists and just people who have written incredible books and are helping people out there. So before we start, I have some scenarios for you that I want to see if these are icks or yums for you.
Oh gosh.
Would these scenarios be deal breakers for you? Would they be the thing that you're like, nope? And maybe there's something that you, because you're pretty optimistic, maybe you could see that, hey, that's not that bad. I would kind of date that guy, or that girl. All right, here's a scenario for you. Tell me if this would be a deal breaker for you.
I can't wait.
Okay, this guy said he didn't have kids on his profile, but he shows up with a car seat in the back of his car, and he explains himself by saying, "It's okay. I don't really get to see her much anyway."
So he has a kid.
Yes,
and is requires a car seat. That right there is a hard pass for me. Hard pass.
And then, okay, now if he said, what about if he said this? I said I didn't have kids because I don't want people to not want to date me. I do have a kid. Would that still be a deal breaker?
No, if the kid is in a car seat, I am absolutely running. No, thank you. Absolutely not. No,
okay, let's say that you were in your 20s or early 30s.
Still running. Now, if their kid was 17, 18, and, maybe.
Yeah. So you would say it. Yeah.
Somebody the car
have to raise.
It's the car seat that's bothering me.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Not that he lied. Not that he lied about having a kid.
No, I mean, lying, sure. But I think there's a lot of factors. I'd rather have that conversation face to face. I think too many people I wish they would take that question off.
Right. Okay.
Meet me and then determine and straight out the chute. Hey, FYI, I have 2 boys and one has autism. Here you go. Straight out the chute. But let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
You're swiping no before you even meet them.
Yes.
So,
I agree. I agree. I don't think kids are a no-go for me. But I think someone who doesn't see their kids would be a no-go for me. If they're like, I don't really see that kid that much, that would be a no-go. I would want somebody who's very engaged in raising their children. That would be
yeah. If somebody was like, yeah, I only see my kid once a month, that to me is a red flag that the courts were involved and you're only allowed to see your kid once a month. Why? But there's other stories. Like Adrian's dad only saw his kids once a month because he was a pilot and he was traveling and he lived in a different state. And so, there's a lot of factors.
There's a lot of factors.
Jody, is the car seat that is making me want to gag.
You're like, I don't want little babies. I get it.
Well, do you remember how dirty those car seats would get? It was disgusting. They really need to, come up with a car seat that you can pressure wash.
Yes, good idea. Let's invent it.
Serious. I'm like, golly, no thanks.
I know. I think after having young kids, I realized early on that either you had to have seat covers, very good seat covers, and those washable floor mats, and or leather seats that you could just wipe everything down, because when you had cloth seats, they were going to get ruined.
Yeah.
But also when you have young kids, don't get an expensive car. Just get a safe car.
Adrian used to call my car the cottage cheese mobile because it just stunk and it was so gross. And he has a hard pass rule, like the only thing allowed in his truck is water. The end, and I'm like, easy to say, hard to do when you're driving kids to and from therapy and you're in the car.
So they're thirsty, and I get it. I know.
Yeah,
I can see what you're saying. You do not want to date somebody with a cottage cheese car situation going on.
And I named this title "Red Flags and Things That Make You Gag."
Okay, well, then I have another scenario for you. Would this be a deal breaker for you? So when this person was younger, they went out with a super shy and passive guy who wouldn't even choose the parking spot without asking for their approval. They ate at the Olive Garden. He had lasagna. Even though the date was a little awkward and quiet, we went back to his house to hang out, and we started kissing in the basement. And then he burped in my mouth. Would that be a deal breaker?
Wait, I have a question. Is this a story about your own dating experiences? Are you sure?
No, but I'll tell you. Do you remember when I dated Daniel in high school, who had the fast car, and he was friends with many of our friends? Anyway, he did tell me that the Olive Garden is the McDonald's of Italian food. And so I know that a lot of our friends found their true loves through the Olive Garden. So I'm not saying Olive Garden is the worst. I just don't like restaurants with carpet in them.
Yeah.
I think it's gross. It's going to have a weird smell. Like Chuck E. Cheese always had carpet. I think it was for the sound, but it smelled like cottage cheese, like your husband says. So there were so many scenarios in there. What were some that would be deal breakers, or maybe you could look past it?
Somebody asking me where to park, I'd have a real hard time with. If you're asking me that level of where do you think I should park? I no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm done right there. I'm fine with a quiet person. I'm shockingly pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Around our house and stuff. Somebody choosing Olive Garden And then for me, Olive Garden is gonna go ahead and trigger some IBS situations. And
Yes.
I'm gonna be nervous. And then you burp that nasty
In
shit
your
in my
mouth.
mouth. I mean, you would be lucky to walk out alive. To be very honest, you would be lucky to walk out alive. And
That
so
would
it's
be
this,
pretty gross.
yeah. But I would hard pass at where should we park? Actually, my stomach's upset. Can you go ahead and drop me off at Lavaca Street right down the road?
Well, another thing, Shelly, so we've got many things, but I will say if he was asking me about parking because maybe I had a foot injury or I had something wrong, like I couldn't move very far, walk very far, that would be nice. But if they're asking me about every little thing, it would get very old for me. I'd be like, nah. I don't think I would be very attracted to that type of person. Oh, okay. Okay.
Are these based on like real experiences?
Yeah.
Oh golly, guys.
Shelly, I'm gonna say this next one is something that you would be okay. You would be down for.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So this guy, they were on a date. This person was on a date with a guy. He talked all through dinner about himself nonstop and never asked the person one question about themselves. Then on the drive home, he asked the girl if he could come in and would the girl please pop the pimples on his back for him.
Yes. Yes.
So this girl said no. And then he asked if I would do it on our second date.
She went on a second date?
He said, will you do it on our second date, not our first date? She goes, no, we won't have a second date. Then he got very upset and said, but I had such a good time with you tonight. And she goes, how could you turn me down on a second date? She goes, do you even know my last name, where I live? If I have any kids or pets, did you learn anything about me? Because all you did was talk about yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Would you pop somebody's pimples on their first date?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one
Shelly is an excavator. She missed her calling. You missed your calling. You really wanted to be like a dermatologist your whole life.
I just cannot stand a pimple, but I have no problems with somebody talking. I would be like, yeah, tell me more. Jody, I'm gonna say, if you have something to say, don't be mad that you didn't say it. Say it.
I do think people get upset when there's a conversation going. And if somebody doesn't ask them questions, they're just like, I feel like if I said, hey, do you have any pets? Let's act it out. We're going to role play. You're the guy, I'm the girl, or whatever. Hey, do you have any pets?
No, he's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you doing okay? Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up. Now I'm going to have to go cry.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I have a pet. Maybe my pet could become like your pet.
Oh, that's lovely. What kind of pet do you have?
I have a golden retriever.
Oh, that's cool.
No, Shelly, you're the one that doesn't ask questions. And we're acting this out.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Okay, I have one last scenario for you. I think we can agree that this would be a deal breaker.
No.
So these
somebody is letting me pop their pimples like on a first date. I think that's so hot.
You're like, I like that guy. So no baby, no burping in your mouth, but yes to the pimple popping.
You know what? It's not the burping in the mouth that I have a problem with, Jody. It's the fact that it was Olive Garden.
Shelly, if somebody burped, okay, when we were kids, we would go to Taco Cabana all the time. And when you burp up those chicken fajitas, it would like stink up the whole car. So it was like, oh. So if somebody actually burped Taco Cabana in your mouth or Olive Garden,
Yeah.
or I could name 1,000 places, but somebody burping my mouth, I mean, just turn for a minute. We can take a break from our kissing. We can take a little break. Just
Yeah.
say, "Oh, sorry," and then, let it go.
I mean,
But
but if it's a comedy bit, that's I don't know. I'd have to if Adam Sandler wanted to burp in my mouth for a comedy bit, I would accept it 100%.
no, I'm gonna say no. So, but you're saying no, baby, no Olive Garden, yes to pimple popping on the first date, and you don't care if he asks you questions.
I don't.
Okay.
If I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. I don't need him to ask me questions for me to talk.
Okay, 2 more scenarios because I don't think you ever answer. Okay, tell me if this would give you would this be cause? So you're on a great date, you're having a great time, and then this person casually told. Okay, so he casually told me, not me, but the person who wrote this, that he was out on bail for domestic violence. But it was okay because it was his wife's fault. She started it. And now, guess what? He's separated from her. So he's free to start dating.
No.
Deal breaker, right?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Last one, because you answered this. So one of our singles, she wanted to ride in the car with the person from the first setting to the second setting to go bowling, and it took him 20 minutes to clean out his car. And when she got in the car, it looked like he may be living in his car, or at least he might be really bad at taking care of the inside of his car. Would that be a deal breaker for you?
Yes.
Okay, so the only thing that's not a deal breaker for you is if somebody asked you on your first date to pump their back pimples.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me.
Right.
What about you? What are those all deal breakers for you?
I would say it wouldn't bother me so much as somebody took over the conversation. Sometimes I enjoy people just to talk about themselves. I think that's kind of fun. And then I feel like, to be honest, I like to know more about people than they know about me. So that really works in my favor. That would not be my deal breaker. Him burping in my mouth, it would be a turnoff for sure. Olive Garden's not my favorite restaurant for sure, but I don't know if that would be my full deal breaker. The baby seat wouldn't really bother me. The fact that he lied about it and then doesn't see his child. The domestic violence, absolutely no, thank you, don't need it. Because if he had an ex that they had that volatile of a relationship, I have a bad feeling that would become my issue too. Even if he was wrongly accused of domestic violence, for an argument to get to that level it'd be too concerning for me at this point. And that person might be just volatile, and I just don't need more drama in my life. So
hard pass.
I think for the pimple popping, I would be like, no thanks, but maybe when we get to know each other further on down the road.
Well,
John asked me to shave his back last night, and I was like, okay, I'll help you with that.
Yeah, but you're also a never nude, so
right.
Yeah, that is not your wheelhouse.
Now, if that's his kink, then okay, that might be your kink. I don't know.
So, that's a interesting kink.
That would be an interesting kink.
Yeah.
So, out of those scenarios, which ones made you gag?
The baby seat.
I think you have PTSD from having 2 kids that were Irish twins in baby seats.
And cloth diapers.
Shelly. What the heck? It's okay. You were just an environmentalist. It was so good of you. Okay, so we had some great guests during the first part of this season for Single Ready to Mingle, and we had some great, not just the therapist that we had, Dr. Kyle, Dr. Love, and Laura McFarland. but we also learned so much from each of our singles. So,
We did.
what were some good words of advice for people that are wanting to end their single life and move into a healthy relationship? What were some things that you thought were great ideas?
I'm gonna name 3. It's like, make space for it. Make space for a relationship, for a partner. Make space and time to connect with people. Don't sit at home watching Netflix all day, expecting something to land in your lap.
Knock, knock, knock. Oh, the love of my life just knocked at my door.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Mel Robbins just dropped a great thing about partnership, and we'll share it. But it is who you meet is who they are.
Oh, yes.
So if he is asking you to pop his pimples on the first date, that is the relationship, unless you teach him how to clean his back and help him not have pimples. But he is always going to be, hey, will you shave my back? Will you shave my neck? Will you pop my pimples? That is who they are. And people do not really change. That's my second big tip.
Yes.
My big takeaway. My third one is stop with the parameters.
Mhm.
Stop with the parameters. Is meet somebody and then make a decision. Give somebody an opportunity. I think people have types, and then they're shocked that this relationship isn't working either. And it's like, well,
A definition of insanity.
it's the definition of insanity. But I think that is the big, people don't set a parameter.
Well, and
if
I don't think you're saying settle for less, but you're saying open yourself up to other options. You don't have to be so rigid in everything. You might find yourself attracted to that guy you didn't think you were going to be attracted to. I think about Jocelyn Garcia. She started dating a totally different type of guy. She goes, I never dated like a bald guy, or I never dated a guy that wasn't this height or whatever. She goes, so I opened it up and I had a blast with him. It didn't last forever, but it was a fun adventure while it started, while it went. And then it kind of maybe set her off in a trajectory. She was like, I'm not going to be so rigid in my expectations. Think about it. It goes both ways. When men are rigid, women get offended. When women are rigid, men get offended. You're leaving out a whole population of potential love connections. So I like those advice. So make space and time for someone. Who you meet is who they are, and don't limit yourself by your parameters that you're setting. Allow new things to come into your life. Okay, I like those. I think my big takeaways, I agreed with all 3 of yours, is when you're dating online or, these dating apps, meet them immediately. That is my big takeaway. Meet them immediately. I also love that people take a risk, get to know everyone. The worst thing that could happen, well, except for those really scary worst things, but the worst real thing that can happen that I see is you might make a really great friend. And that person might not be your love connection, but it might be somebody else's love connection that you're like, hey, it wasn't for me, but I know Sarah over here, you and Sarah would be a great connection. Y'all have so much in common. So I like that it's okay to step out of your comfort zone, like you're saying, with those parameters. And you never know where that might catapult you. And they might also say, you're not for me, but I have a great friend that I think you would enjoy meeting. So don't try to limit yourself that way. So meet them immediately. And then the big takeaway, there were 2 big takeaways that I found. Most of the people want to get out and about They do not want to just sit around and do nothing. They want to go to sporting events. They want to do urban walks. They want to go out. People have been stuck in their houses. For people that do remote work, they don't want to be at all the time. That can come later. Open yourself up for those adventures. Do something different. Do something that's kind of taking you out of your comfort zone. Shelly, these are so true.
They're so true, and we've heard them over and over. And I, if you're sitting at home night after night after night waiting for something external to come in and change your life, I really think you should talk to a therapist. I think there's more at play, and
you might have some anxiety. You might have some PTSD from something that happened in the past. My last big takeaway was work on your hygiene. Have your teeth brushed and flossed. Smell good. When you look good, you feel good. Take care of yourselves. Shelly and I joke like we just wear a baseball cap, but we're not on the market. If we were on the market, we might change up our baseball cap.
Hey, if I were on the market, I'd wear an underwire bra.
Your boobs would be sagging, Shelly. Actually, you have good boobs. I would not say you have good. I think you have great.
They would be up for play. They'd be like, "Hi."
Yeah, I've seen you with an underwire bra, and they are very perky when you wear those underwire bras. But gosh, whoever invented an underwire bra, I just don't like you very much, and I think that something else as well. So these are great takeaways. Okay. In all of our time talking to these amazing singles, what were some red flags that you were like, oh, let's be careful with these types of things? Did you hear any main red flags that you're one thing that you're saying is people who are waiting for that person to come in. That's a red flag. That's a red flag for yourself, but also it's a red flag for the person who's just going to come in and be your white knight.
Yeah. So Mel Robbins' thing that I just saw on her social is that we have to be the best us to find the best them. If we don't take care of us, then we shouldn't be dating. We shouldn't even be dating unless you just want something silly and you're looking for sex or whatever. So anybody dating, like, to me, is like, do the work here so that you're ready to accept your best partner. That is the constant red flag I see. And I understand people are young and they don't understand yet, and I get that and stuff. But there's so much anger, when you start talking about dating. The parameters is like, I'm on a 666. I know we all joked about that. The 666, a 555 is fine. A 555 is great, and nothing wrong with the 555. That knows how to manage their five. So don't set parameters. Those are the biggest red flags. I mean, we've heard stories that were run, don't walk. Our whole lives of different people's relationships. But no, what did you hear on red flags?
I think the biggest red flag that I heard repeatedly is if somebody's unwilling to meet with you, either through, if let's say they live out of the state right now, and one of you, I mean, who knows what will happen, but if they're not willing to have a video call with you or see you in person pretty much immediately, that's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
They need to be willing to see you. They might be hiding something. They may be, that's a big one. If you're going to make a connection with somebody, you need to be willing to see that person face to face. Either that's a video call or it is in person. So if somebody is stalling on these dating apps, meeting you in person, either through video call or whatever, that is a huge red flag. They are not who they say they are, or they might have a bunch of kids behind them or family. Something is not right. Use that as a red flag. That's my biggest one. And then my other one is the person who talks about their ex a lot or talks badly about their ex. So maybe they're not quite done with their ex. Maybe they just broke up, but they're wanting to get back in the market. But there is an easy way. Let's say that you find attraction to this person, but they're talking about their ex, and they're talking about him in a good way, but they're talking about him repeatedly. A really good way to handle that, I believe, is to say, it looks like you still have things going on with your ex. And I want for both of us to be in a really place of ready. So when you're truly ready with starting a relationship, because I'm really ready to start a relationship, then let's try this again, like in a few months. Let's give you some time to heal and to work through whatever you're working through. Now, that'll either do one or two things. A, it doesn't close the door necessarily, but it gives them a chance to either get back with their ex and see what's going to happen, or it gives them a chance to say, you know what, she's right. I need to be completely done with this relationship. And then people who talk bad about their ex, like, oh, he's nuts, she's crazy, even if they are, usually that's a sign of what's going to happen in your relationship. I love talking to Adrian. He doesn't like to talk bad about people. He says that I don't like a gossip. His best friend, Matt, was like, he doesn't like to bring bad energy into things. He's not going to sit there and talk bad about people. I appreciate that. I don't think it is healthy. And I think it's a big red flag when people are like, well, she was crazy. We had a very toxic relationship, maybe so, but you don't know what level of toxicity that they were bringing into the relationship.
It takes two.
It takes two. Now, I will tell you, I have seen people, us included, we have been in toxic relationships, and we had to learn to be in relationships ourselves and not continue those patterns of toxicity. So there are ways. I was in a really bad, tough, awful relationship. It was toxic, but the change begins with me. I knew that I did not want to repeat those patterns again.
When you met John, you didn't go, this happened at all.
No, it was, hey, I'm ready for my next thing. It's healthier. So those are my big red flags. I think if they don't want to see you, if they're talking bad about their ex, and then just if they don't want to see you in person, that's a huge red flag. So.
If they ask you, if you have not met them face to face, and you haven't known them for over 2 years, and they're asking you for money, I mean, any level of money.
Yes.
Run, don't walk. Run, don't walk.
Don't walk. Run, don't walk. So Shelly and I have a challenge for some of you. We've been seeing that a lot of the dating apps are doing pitch your friend. And we love that Larissa came on to pitch her daughter. Her daughter, according to Larissa and her daughter, they say that her daughter has had a bad picking situation. Her picker's a little off. I'm sure you've heard that saying. So if you want to pitch a friend, a niece, a nephew, a son, a daughter, whoever, or your mom or your dad, if you want to pitch somebody, let us know and you can get on. We won't ask you the really raunchy things, because why would you want to know what position your mom likes in bedroom? So we'll ask you a little, we change it to fit the audience for sure and our guests. So please contact Shelly. Look at our Facebook page. Just go through Shelly. She's a great connector. So we want to connect more people. We have had some people that are off the market, are single, ready to mingle, are getting snatched. So, and if you have not listened to all the single ready to mingles, go back, start at the very beginning with John, go through all of them. There is a perfect person for you out there. I love each and every one of our single ready to mingles. We pretty much get to vet them for you. We are not going to put out a toxic person in here. We have great opportunities, but Many of our single ready mingles are getting snatched up. So start at the beginning. They're snagged. But if you have any bad dating stories from the past that you would like to share with us, if you have some red flags that you are like, oh my goodness, or if you have just that tidbit of advice that has really helped you to get off the toxic wheel of bad relationships, then contact us on Facebook. And we would love to hear from each and every one of our audience members in some capacity. So what else do we have going on, Shelly? We have so
much going on. You can follow us on the socials because we have a lot of activities going on. We don't want to drive you nuts listing all of them. As of today, we have a brand new podcast. It's Good Enough Today with Sharima Lee. It is wonderful.
Oh my gosh, she's so inspiring. So good.
Yeah,
I love it. We also have Mom's Favorite. If you haven't listened to it, please do. It's just going to remind you of, it's going to remind you of maybe one of three things. The mom you wish you were, because I love Kim and Cassidy's relationship. The mom, how much you maybe miss your mom or love being around your mom. Or just, I don't know, like the funny stories, love listening to their grandkids, Cannon and Shep, get on there. They're so opposite. It's so funny. I always love this. It's like you can have kids with the same kind of DNA or, egg sperm kind of combo going in there, and they all come out so different. Everybody's
so different. So different.
So interesting. And then the ladies of left field, they more interviews, and I love the people they're bringing on. They brought Jordan's best friend Amy on there, and I loved it. I learned so much.
Yeah.
Please listen to Ladies of Left Field, and then one of our favorites. What's one of our favorites, Shelly? I mean, there's so many.
There's so many. I definitely, we're obsessed with Conspiracy Farm.
Oh my gosh, it's like so. Vincent is taking this podcasting to a new level. He's using AI technologies, and he's going back doing historical references where he's going deep into the Bible, talking about aliens, conspiracy theories with the CIA and the FBI and so forth. And then just talking about his past, when he was in college and all his fun adventures. And I am just loving every minute of it. And then I am loving Pammy Out Loud. Out Loud. I love the tidbits of advice that I get. When I sit down, when Pammy Out Loud is coming on, I get a pen and I take notes. And sometimes I listen to it 2 or 3 times. Another one I love is our Dateable AF.
So good.
It's amazing, Dr. Kyle.
So many great dating tips for everybody.
I know that it looks like it's niche because of it's really for like the lesbian population, but I learned so much about dating through it. I'm like, yeah, well, that happens everywhere, So I just love their energy, their connection, they just have a great connection with one another, and I love their giggles. It's so fun of it. And then Las Comadres, Veronica has been doing such a great job holding down the fort while Melissa's getting better. And I love what Letty brought to the table. I love their interviews. I love that I feel like I'm learning some new language. And, I just think it's so beautiful to hear different cultures and, kind of figuring out what's going on in everybody's life. Did I miss anyone? I know we have more coming.
Yeah, we have more coming. And our episode on Tuesday was actually interviewing Kim Mason Brown, who is thinking about adding a podcast to her team. And Conspiracy Farm is going out on its own to do a standalone, stay with the Jody Media family, but it's going to be a standalone starting in August.
I know. I'm so proud of him. He is so creative, so clever. Each and every one of these podcasts are worth a tune in. And if you have not listened, please listen to all of them, follow, and give ratings for them. And Jody Media, I have to give Jordan and Shelly all the credit. They are working.
No way.
on this. Shelly is a great connector, and Jordan is our, oh my gosh, I don't know
We
what
love
we
her.
do without her, because she comes in, she dusts all of our things, and then we're going to be getting in the studio more with Record ATX. Thank you to our favorite people over in North Austin for helping us even getting this started. This has been a labor of love.
We love it. Love it.
And a shout out to my friend Debbie Lewis, who was like, I've been listening to your podcast, and I just love that she was listening to us, Shelly. And
Oh, that's so awesome.
she loved listening to the interviews. It's a Beautiful Life, the Single Ready to Mingles, the book clubs, just getting to know people, having all of the people that are contributing. If you want to get on our podcast for an interview, either for Single Ready to Mingle, if you want to do book club because you have something you consume, just let us know. I love it. It's the most.
We're there for it.
Shelly and I could talk to each other forever. We have so much.
Good. I know. Okay, I love you. I love you so much.
Thank you, Shelly. Texas.
Yeah.